Okay, we did it. This is my first time doing it by myself.
Great job. Perfect.
Usually Fariha starts the video for us, or, you know, Jess did at the beginning. So I did it. It worked. We're here.
Nailed it.
Hopefully.
Got it.
So yeah, welcome guys to another episode of Fangirlz Assemble. We are so happy to see you. Today it is me and Kristan.
Hey.
All right, so before we get to the meat of the episode, Kristan, can you tell us about our wonderful sponsor?
That would be InStockTrades.com. They're currently having a damages sale, so you should check it out. You can get all of your favorite books for up to 50% off. And even more right now. Like, it's intense. You should check it out. Really go through that damages tab. Like, lose your mind in it, because I've been doing that the past few days. I haven't been buying anything, but I've been staring at it. So check that out. You spend $50 or more, you get free shipping in the United States, and it is the best, and they're the best. So InStockTrades.com.
Yeah, I've been tracking that damages sale, and I'm like, well, eventually I'm going to have to jump on it, but I don't know.
And then the moment you want to, everything's gone, because that happened to me.
Yeah, our group is too good. They're too good.
One book from it.
They're ready at all times.
You want me to show you the one book I got from it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, I saw this, and I was so tempted by it, and I looked it up. I will tell you right now, I haven't read anything from it. I've seen it throughout life, okay? So maybe you will recognize the image of Moomin. Have you seen Moomin before?
Okay, so I've seen the art, but I've never, I didn't know what it was from. That is so cute. Is that a hardcover too?
And it's huge, and it's a slipcase, okay? It's like a 20th anniversary. There's only like a little ding, like right here. It's not bad. And oh my gosh, I'm in love with this hardcover. Fantagraphics, I think, maybe, put it out. Drawn in Quarterly. And it was just super cheap compared to like what it usually is. And oh my gosh, it's all comic strips, and I'm so excited. I know nothing about it other than, hey, it was cute and it called to me. You know, sometimes things call to you. And
it's meant to be.
It called to me. I mean, look at how great this looks. And there's posters falling out of it. Like, come on.
I love it's a nice hardcover. There's nothing like a good hardcover. And a slipcase. Ooh.
And a ribbon. Oh. Hardcover with a ribbon. Like, stop it. Jim in the Hall. Yeah.
Show me how that lays. Open it up.
Jim, look at this. I'll show you both. There you go. Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
Right?
That's really good. You can always count on our show to be real creepy about how a book opens and feels.
I mean, do we want to just start with that?
Oh yes. Okay, so today we put it off because we wanted to do like our Halloween episode last week, but we are finally talking about our pick from a couple months ago, Gem and the Holograms. Before we even touch on just how great the book is, the book itself feels so good. It's beautiful, beautiful hardcover. It has this nice little indent in there, like it's a little folder, like you're at school.
Trapper Keeper, yeah.
It has the little bookmark guy.
That's what I was looking for. Love a good ribbon.
Oh, it's great. And the book, no matter where you are in it, just stays right open. I mean, it's amazing. It's crazy.
That binding.
I didn't think I cared about stuff like this until...
look at it. Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's so nice, you guys. I didn't know until hosting the show.
During the pre-chat, we just talked about how great this book opens. And we're just the biggest nerds over here. Cause it's just like, but it stayed open the whole time. It didn't matter where I was. It just... I
got a big garbage inside, and I'd still be like, oh, this is great.
Worth the money.
It's like a luxury.
It really is. That's sad, too.
Okay, so let me give you a little side story, or not side story, but backstory on what Gem and the Holograms is. Now, I'm telling you my story about Gem and the Holograms. I've never seen the show.
I haven't.
I've just read this book. I am madly in love with it already. Basically, this group of sisters, they go start a band, and the lead singer / manager / everything for the group, she also writes their songs. She's too timid to get up on stage. and that's where they really struggle. They want to, you know, follow their dreams of music, but that's always getting in her way. Their dad, who I guess who passed away, who's like some big computer programmer or something. They don't get too much into their past. Developed this computer program for Jerrica, who's the main girl. And it's a hologram, so she's able to make herself this like gem, who's this like really bodacious. I feel like that's appropriate word for this. Outrageous, pink-haired goddess. And so she uses this hologram, and she can still sing and perform and not feel self-conscious doing it. And they get into a whole bunch of hijinks. They all look, she looks amazing. Yeah, I love it. I want bands to look like that again.
In real life, yeah.
You know, so you basically, it follows these four sisters and their process, like going with this band, and they also enter in a competition to kind of do a versus against this other big band, the Misfits. There's a lot of the book focuses on their kind of rivalry with one another, even though really Gem and the Holograms, there's like, we just like making music and dressing cute. And then Misfits are like, I hate those bitches when I get them. And sprinkled in is a lot of romance, and a lot of like growth and self-discovery and all these other things. It's super kid appropriate, honestly. I want to start like peddling these out to any kid I know, because I honestly, it's great. It made me feel a lot like a lot of cartoons I grew up with. It reminds me of those. So like Sailor Moon. I mentioned I was told by Ginger to Kristan. It gave me that sort of feel. But yeah, Kristan, what did you think?
Yeah, I loved it. It's really about like female empowerment and friendships and relationships, and none of the relationships like bothered me. You know how sometimes like you go into a book and there's a stereotypical like, oh, like that guy and that girl, and I'm bored because it's so. Even, you know, none of them bothered me. I thought they were all wonderful, and it was just so fun. It was so fun. There were really funny moments. I felt for every character, even the angry ones. You end up caring about the Misfits more than you thought you would. Spoiler. But I loved everything about it. I loved it.
And speaking of relationships in there, not only were the relationships between the sisters really cool to see, but yeah, all the romantic relationships, like I really enjoyed. Honestly, you have a relationship between Jerrica, the main girl, and this reporter who reports on bands. And their thing is really cute because they really like each other. But he's also very suspicious because he doesn't like Gem, not knowing that Gem is Jerrica. He's like, why doesn't Gem ever help you guys do anything or stick around? You're doing all the work, Jerrica, and Gem's not doing anything. And so it's a little neat.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't tell you. And then she also gets kind of offended. Like, girl, he's no. But the best number one romance.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Are the star-crossed lovers.
Yeah.
Kimber of the Gem and the Holograms, and Stormer of Misfits. So they super dig each other. It's two girls. But Misfits' main singer does not want them hanging out because they're rivals. But the cool thing is, Gem and the Holograms, what I love the most about it is that their band, the main band, is so supportive and loving, you know, with each other. And it sends a really good message. Like, nothing ever gets in the way that they can't fix together as sisters and as friends, which is nice. And you see it as a great, like, dichotomy, right? Antithesis to the Misfits group, who's like, their lead singer is full of jealousy issues and all of their problems and trying to sabotage.
And they just cut down and sort of like when they first hear Gem and the Holograms, they're just immediately like, oh no, screw these girls, like not happening. And then when it's vice versa, like the Holograms are like, yay, Misfits, like you guys are great, you know, at the beginning at least.
Which is why I feel like this would be such a good book. Like if you have a younger kid in your life, or even like a teen or anyone, or just, you know, people like me and Kristan who love this book, you should really have them pick it up. Like I know Omar's watching right now. Omar, please, like, let your girls, I'll bring it over. Let your girls read this because I think it's so good. And this is exactly the kind of thing that I like as an adult now, but I also loved and just like absorbed when I was younger. Because it's not just like the story and everything, but it's just really fun. The whole thing's really fun. The art is really cool. Like whenever they sing a song, they have it like.
I love how the lyrics are. It's really, really cool how the pages are laid out.
And also, the difference between like you can feel the difference without even saying it and their music styles.
Yeah.
Because Misfits, you can tell it's very like sharp edges, and you can feel like it's a very like rock song, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gem and the Holograms is a much more like probably pop rock kind of deal.
Kind of, yeah.
But
yeah, and we were talking about Ember and Stormer, our favorite couple. I was trying to find a good panel of them, and this is them. And we love that they're also showing different body types, and you know, we unfortunately still don't see that enough, right? Like, and they were both badass and awesome.
Yeah. And, like, I know a lot of people, the issue a lot of people have with stuff like this, they always like, oh, well, these people are just catering to SJWs or whatever. And, like, you know, screw you guys. It's just really cool to see different body types. And I think it matters because people like me, when I see it, I'm like, that is awesome. And it makes me feel really happy because I don't have the body type that's in most comics. And so I saw her and I was like, yes! And she's, like, a desirable person.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, and I would feel that way too about this person. And to see their relationship, the two of them, because they're both like, they're very different body-wise, they're very different people, and they just love each other so much. And it makes me really happy.
They both think they're cute too. Like, so, you know, there isn't anyone who's like, oh, I'm so ugly. Because you see that so much too, right? With like women who look different than the teeny tiny girls that you see always, typically in comics, right?
Yeah.
But there's none of that. Everyone's like happy about themselves, and it's all just about positivity, right?
Yeah, because I feel like even when the girls would bring each other down, I mean, well, the Misfits mostly, it was never about looks or anything either, which is nice.
Yeah.
It just shows you that, like, when you're writing a comic like this, you know, especially if it's supposed to be more all ages, you don't have to put that kind of stuff in there. Not that it's not a real thing people don't face, because it is. And it's not like I want it to not be in every comic. But it is nice to read something where that's not what it is.
They don't fall back on all of those typical tropes that I feel like you see a lot.
Instead, it's just good old food fight.
Yeah,
and almost killing people.
Yeah, there's them all food fighted up.
It's so cute.
That's exactly right. Like, it's so fun. It is great for kids because there's also like, you know, there's teachable moments, and it's not like forced down your throat. I feel like I'm in school or I'm reading something that's supposed to be about morals or like teaching me something. It's just like, oh, real life. Like, you know, you really shouldn't treat people like this because this stuff can happen. You know, like you should want to treat people with kindness because you will feel that in return, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like a smart comic can do that without being like a school special.
Yeah.
And that's why I like books like this. And this is why I like, I Steven Universe a lot. The show, because I feel like it teaches very valuable lessons without doing it in a way that you feel like you're learning. I think that's so good for kids because as they get older, they don't want to hear the whole like, you need to share because that's nice. Like, it's just like you're just figuring out these things without them telling you. So it's a little messaging.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And that was really cool. And everybody's so great in this. I love it. I was really surprised. I didn't know what to think going into this. And again, I never watched Gem. So the most I knew about it was like, it's a very 80s cartoon, and they're outrageous. Their makeup's really cool, and there's a band. And that's about all I knew going in. And I'm not sure how this compares to the original cartoon. But for me, it's the knowledge. I would say this seems like a very faithful adaptation as far as like style. I know when that movie came out a few years ago, like that one did really bad, the live action Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah.
Because they made it something completely different. But they kept the whole like sci-fi thing in there. I really like it.
This is still going on, I believe. The comic.
Yeah, and you mentioned that maybe the hardcover got canceled, right?
That's what I kept hearing when we first got this. Like, people were like, "Oh, I think the second one's canceled. The second one's canceled." I'm hoping that enough people bought this at 50% at IST, where I even is like, "Wait, what's happening? We should probably print another one," because, like we talked about, these hardcovers are so nice and they stay open so well, and they're just beautiful.
I mean, it's incredible quality. It's totally worth it. Not just for the story, which is beautiful, and the art's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, the book.
Yeah,
it is worth it. It is super worth it. It looks really great. The spine looks really pretty. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah, it's so pretty.
So please buy this.
Yeah, go buy it at insucktrades.com because you don't have to pay the $50 cover price. So you're going to get a really good deal.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah,
and honestly, Christmas is coming up. You know that you have younger family members probably that you would love to get into comics just like you. Yeah. This is a great gateway book, boys and girls.
Yeah,
it's great. I think I'm this up for my niece. I don't know if she'd read it, but I'm gonna try.
make her do it.
Yeah, because I'm always trying to get my nieces and nephews into my kind of stuff, and so for some of them it works. And I'm gonna keep trying. Like, my oldest niece, she's about like 18, 19. She would love this book, not just because it's great art and everything else, but she's a little gay. I'm really proud of her.
Yep.
I'm proud of her for being gay, but I'm proud of her just being open about it, and that's really cool.
That's great.
It's hard to do. And she, where is it? Give it to me. Like, so that's awesome. I think I'll peddle this onto her.
And you make a good point. I think boys and girls would both appreciate and like the story because it's just a good story. That's it. Like, good story, good characters. You know, they're bright colors, but who cares? Like,
man, this would be such a good cartoon. Like, I really wish that they would make that into a cartoon, right? I think it would do just fine.
Yeah.
It'd be great for Cartoon Network. Yeah. Even be great for Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
And Cartoon Network's moving in a direction right now that I feel like they could do this justice without hiding anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a lot of cartoons now that maybe come from source material that does have some gay people in it, and they just don't touch it.
Right.
We flash back to Sailor Moon where they're just cousins. And then Steve Universe is like, here it is.
Yep.
Here you go.
I love that.
So I think you know, if anybody from Cartoon Network is watching, probably not, but can you just pick up Gem and the Holograms, make that a cartoon for me, so I can actually hear these songs? That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
But yeah. So
well, we recommend it. That's it. We recommend it. Go buy it.
Yeah, please go buy it.
We want another hardcover, so you have to go buy it.
And if we have any people watching that would like to cosplay this with me,
ooh,
I really like to cosplay from this. So let me know if you want to be in a Gem of the Holograms cosplay group.
Amazing.
Thanks.
I would pay money to see that. I'll start your Kickstarter.
Okay, thank you.
There's
a couple of big cosplayers that cosplayed Gem and what's her name? The main person in Misfits. Let me look in the back. Pizzazz.
Yeah.
They're called Twinzik cosplay. Twin and then ZIK. And they've done a lot of other big cosplays that got really popular. Like, they do a lot of like crazy makeup stuff. So one of them was like Nigel Thornberry one year, and it's very
gosh. Oh, I gotta look that up. That's amazing.
So they cosplayed from this comic because I didn't know that it was from this comic. I thought it was from the cartoon or something. But as I read this, I was like, no, that's straight up like made the wig look exactly like Pizzazz's hair, like go out. It's pretty cool. So if any of you are watching and want to check out Twinzik cosplay,
I'm writing that down. Awesome.
So, before we talk about our recent reads, I just want everybody to know that I got a kotatsu, and that's a Japanese heated table, and that's what I'm going to be doing all my shows at all summer. So right now, if you can tell that you're seeing some new books that you haven't seen, it's because I'm sitting in my kotatsu and I'm very warm. I just want you all I hope to know that.
That is beautiful. I'm gonna call
Anyways, so Kristan, sorry. I keep interrupting. I can't hear as well.
Yeah, I'm having problems too. It's fine. We'll get through this together.
I'm so sorry. If I'm interrupting too much, just tell me.
Oh no. I mean, like, I think my internet's cutting out, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave you alone, so I'm gonna deal with it.
Oh God, maybe that's my problem too. I don't know. So, recent reads, Kristan. Tell me, what you been...
Do we want to go for this, or do we want to talk about a thing that's happening next week?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We could go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. Well, we teased you guys, I think, last episode that we have a big announcement. There's an interview coming up. So you guys are going to want to tune in on Wednesday, this Wednesday. I know it's early. That's the 7th, right? The 7th? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wednesday the 7th. At the same time, so 8 p.m. Eastern. That's a big name. You want me to say it?
Yes, Kristan. I want you to tell them what it is. Who are we talking to?
Okay. And we're going to call this my bachelorette party because I'm getting married on Friday. So I want to have a bachelorette party with my girls, but also Mark Waid. So Mark Waid's going to be here on Wednesday, and we're going to have a bachelorette party with him because why not? He doesn't know it yet.
I guess we'll warn Mark Waid while we're doing the show. Welcome, Mark Waid. I loved Irredeemable. Also, it's Chris's bachelorette party.
That's in the title. That's fine, right?
So yeah, that's a big deal. I'm pretty excited / nervous because that's a big name.
So if anybody in the chat has any interview questions that they would like to suggest, we will take everything into consideration.
Omar asked if he takes dollar bills, and Philip said, "Mark Waid, nice. You got a stripper for your party."
That's funny. I didn't even think of it like that. I was just like, "Oh, I'm hanging with my gals and Mark. That's fine."
It's our pal, Mark.
Yeah.
He can be your maid of honor for the night. It's
good. That's good. My weight of honor.
Done. Okay, here's what it's going to be called.
Yeah, write it down.
Fangirlz Assemble, episode whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then we have to put Mark Waid in the title so people know. Interview with Mark Waid / Chris's bachelorette party / weight of honor. I don't care how long it is. Doesn't matter.
Love it. Love it. That's really long. I'm write it down. 1 hour later, done.
I'm excited. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's what's happening. Tune in.
Weight of honor. We'll laugh on that forever. Okay, how about this? If the show goes well and he likes us, we'll just get him a Weight of Honor shirt.
Ooh.
Like if we see him at a con.
Do you think he'll wear it?
Right?
He should wear it.
I don't know.
We'll make it look cool.
I mean, make it cool enough.
Yeah, we'll make it really cool.
I hope he's not gonna I'll tune into Fangirls just to get a little idea of what Wednesday's gonna be like. It's just us being like, Weight of Honor.
The first 5 minutes, he's just like, why are you guys laughing? And we're just like, oh, I promise it's really funny for us.
Oh, Mark.
Classic Mark. First name basis now, it's fine. We've never talked in our life, but it's fine.
Yeah, so let us know your tips for us talking to him because, that's a big get.
Yeah, we're feeling it.
He's the man that made me fall in love with Superman after I said I never would.
See, and that's saying a lot, and I'm actually going to be reading some of his Superman really soon, as in probably tonight. So I'm wondering if it's going to happen or not, because if it doesn't, that's awkward, right?
Just don't say anything.
Yeah, I just won't say anything, but I'll tell you guys.
So while we talk about our reads and stuff, if you guys have any suggestions of any more Mark Waid books we should read before Wednesday, I've been reading a ton of them. So if you have any your top picks that we should read, let me know. Let us know in the chat so we can feverishly read before Wednesday.
We have time, right? Nothing important is happening Tuesday, right? It's fine.
It's okay. It's not like I have a show or we're going to go vote.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. I've already read what I'm going to read for my Tuesday show, so
that's good.
We're good.
Well, speaking of reads.
All right.
You want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yes. Because I feel like I've been talking too much. I'm worried.
Oh,
I'm
no.
a panic talker.
You're good. Okay, so I read last night this Fake Blood by Whitney Gardner. Okay. I got it at the library because it had a cute cover. That's what I do. I'm just like, that's new, and it has a cute cover. Also, I do like the interior art. And this is, you know, more aimed at like middle grade kids probably. But I really enjoyed it. I like the art. It's really cartoony. But it's about this kid. Let's find this kid. This kid. I don't remember his name. Doesn't matter. That boy. He likes a girl, as you do. And she is really into vampire books and vampire TV shows and vampire things. This is that girl. She's really cool. At one point, she wears a shirt that's like clearly a Buffy shirt, but like they can't really say it is. And that's fun. So he starts like, he doesn't know how to talk to her, but he really wants to hang out with her because he likes her a lot. You know, that stage, right? Mm-hmm. And all he knows about her really is that she really likes vampires and things. So he's like, okay, I should pretend to be a vampire. So he starts putting these bags under his eyes and, you know, just like fake blood in his mouth and like sunglasses on. And he doesn't really act like he's sucking blood or anything, but he's just like, I'm, you know, trying to have the look. At one point, his friend like tries to put glitter on him, and he's like, no, that's not right. That's not how this should be, right? It's like fun and cute, and he has this like cute group of friends, and it's really fun. Well, turns out she doesn't really love vampires. She thinks she's meant to be a slayer. So when she realizes, like, she's like, I know what you're doing. I know what's happening. I know who you are, and I know what you are. And then she like opens her coat, and she has all of this stuff. Just like vampires. Anyway, so that's the story from there. There's a whole like, I won't get into the whole thing, but their teacher ends up being a vampire. So like there is a sci-fi kind of element, and that's really fun. But it's just a really cute story, and I'd recommend it if you want just like a cute, good time. And they make fun of like Twilight and like all the, you know, silly parts of that kind of the genre of vampires. And it was really cute and enjoyable, and I really liked it. So Fake Blood, if you want a good time.
Man, that was like it was written for you.
I know, right?
Like, what a surprise. Like, that's a total you book.
Yeah. So I picked it from the cover. I'm pretty good at those.
Honestly, people say don't judge books by their covers, but if they wanted you to pick them up, they should make them look good.
Exactly. You have to.
All right.
Can we keep going?
Keep them coming.
Okay, here we go. I cried last night reading this. So last night I had a really long work shift. So that's why I'm like, I read all these last night. There's not that many. But this is called Lost Soul, Be at Peace by Maggie Thrash. You guys may have heard Maggie Thrash from Honor Girl. It was a graphic memoir about her growing up at a girls' camp and coming out as gay and her dealing with all that. So Maggie Thrash has a really unique art style. A lot of people probably hate it, and this is what it looks like, right? I think she legitimately may use like colored pencils or crayons or something to color it, and it does look like, you know, kiddish in that sense, right? I don't know how to explain it other than it totally, however you feel about this art, it works so well with her stories. So this is a graphic memoir follow-up to Honor Girl. You don't have to read it though, it's just like she's older now, she's 16. And essentially what this book is about, you learn that she lives in a huge house, her dad is a judge, her family's very rich. Her mom is super distant, kind of mean, and her dad just doesn't care to have a relationship with her. Like, he's kind of really cold and really matter of fact, and she hates that, and she's super depressed. Her parents don't notice. Eventually, she finds this room in her house she's never found before. Can you imagine having a house that big? But yeah, it had like over 14 rooms, and she just found this room, and she's like, what? And there was a boy in it. He was holding a gun. And I won't tell you the rest from there, but it's fascinating the way it's told. It right in the feels and the heart, and I don't want to spoil like the twist of it all because I think, like Maddie, I think you would really enjoy this. But it was so good, and it made me cry.
Oh
yeah, and then I went to her Instagram after, and I left a pretty I left a really nice comment, and I was like, I'm crying, and I'm gonna feel this for like a long time. And then she was like, thank you so much, that means the world to me. And she ended up like following my cat account, so whatever, it's no big deal. But but it's great. So anyway, I really love this, and you should check it out.
Okay.
That's Lost Soul Be at Peace by Maggie Thrash.
Okay. That looks really cute. Like, it looks like a kind of book I would like.
I think you would really enjoy it. And I also think, this is my last recent read, you would really enjoy On a Sunbeam. This book has so much hype right now. I read Spinning by Tilly Walden, who is the author and artist of this, and I loved it so much. That was her graphic memoir. And it was so good. And it's gay, and everything's gay, and it's great. So this is like basically a gay space opera, kind of. For lack of a better way to put it. The art is just absolutely gorgeous. The colors are amazing. There's a non-binary character, which you never see, and I love everything about that. All the characters, like, you feel for them so much. Brian K. Vaughan loved it. People are doing the front. That means it's good, right? It is. It was so good. This immediately jumped up to I just guess the most art is amazing. Like, probably definitely my top 5 of this year, maybe of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I loved it that much.
Oh wow.
So anyway, it's all available online for free, so you can check it out. It was a webcomic.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll pick it up after Wednesday.
You should. You should. It's gorgeous. I don't want to give anything away, but it's gorgeous.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's all. That's my recent reads.
Okay. Yeah, because you've been really busy.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys from home don't know, I'm from Kentucky, so that's the one Southern phrase I will use often. It's bless your heart. But in a nice way, not like the, oh, bless her heart, like the sarcastic one.
Which we also hear around here, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I've read a lot recently. Again, I've been reading a lot of Mark Waid. So I read all of each. I don't know how it took me this long to read it. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved every second of it because he really, like, the basic premise for anybody who doesn't know, who hasn't read it, but I think a lot of people have in the chat, is that you have like this world that's very similar, it kind of mirrors DC. So you have a Superman character and he goes evil, and it deals with how everybody deals with that. And also it goes into a lot of explanation about how exactly he was raised and like why he became a superhero and how he dealt with that and then what kind of led him to make that big change. It also shows how power corrupts and takes a lot of superhero tropes and kind of pushes it in a really neat way. I don't want to give away too much, but like the villain dynamic was really cool. So like the main villain to the Superman archetype, their relationship was very neat, and what drove the supervillain, whether or not he realized that his obsession with that Superman character was really cool. And they showed a good job of like how power can corrupt people and corrupt superheroes. And it was just really neat to see that because it makes you appreciate, and I remember Fariha talked about it once, that reading that made her appreciate Superman a lot more because it shows you what all Superman has to deal with and how he chooses just to be this benevolent like superhero when really he could do so much more. Like he could be an evil jerk because, you know, he's constantly hearing all these cries for help everywhere and having to deal with that stress and knowing that at any second, if you're not constantly helping people, you might be losing people. That's enough to make you go insane. And then people still don't always appreciate you either. You know, they still blame you for something or don't treat you as part of it, as part of them, just as like an alien who's never doing enough or is doing the wrong thing. Oh man, it's perfect. So I'm really excited to read more because there's also like a side story to that as well about a supervillain who's trying to become a hero. And I love stories like that because I don't want those stories to happen in my main DC or Marvel stories because I don't want everything to change with my characters. I like how they are, but I like seeing those tropes and seeing how they could be different. It's almost like reading an Elseworld story, and I love
what if kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, and I love more of those too because it's something I do wonder about. You know, I'll have these ideas, or other people will, and it would be nice to see what that would be like. And you know, DC's doing a little bit more of that, usually more related to Batman than anybody else, because you know, can't ever do enough Batman stories. Not that they're not good, but I think we can all recognize that maybe DC needs to slow their roll with Batman sometimes. Give me somebody else, please. But whatever. Yeah, so I read all of that, and then I started reading Mark Waid's Daredevil run, and I watched the show Daredevil, but I was never like a huge fan of it. Not that it's not good, and I haven't watched season 3 yet. But it's not like I was one of the people that watched it became obsessed with the character. But oh man, the comic's so good. All it takes is one good comic to change how I feel about somebody, because Waid's run of him gave him so much more character than I saw in the show, because he's kind of a smart ass that I was really digging that. That's not what I expected, because I thought he was more like a somber kind of dude, but he's so funny. He's just so funny. And it was interesting because like that story, the word's already out that he's Daredevil, but it was never confirmed. So he's still like trying to practice and just be like regular Matt Murdock. And people are like, oh, hey, Daredevil, what's going on? He's like, you're going to have to talk to the Avengers and ask how Daredevil's doing, because I don't know, because I'm not him. And he's still having to like push this. Yeah, so that was pretty great. I'm trying to think of other recent reads I've had, because I read a ton at all times. But I think those are the two that really jump out at me. Oh, that and of course Gem.
Didn't you read the most recent Heroes in Crisis issue?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. I won't spoil it for you guys. I'll just give you my opinions. So yeah, we are too deep in the Heroes in Crisis run by Tom King. As you know, Tom King is my villain origin story. I was a villager origin story.
That too.
That
makes it real weird.
My villain origin story ever since the wedding. So, and I didn't blame him completely for that, because I blamed DC marketing for blowing that up when it could have just been like a not big deal. But the more I'm away from it, the more problems I have with that story, because the whole Batman can't be happy BS, because
nonsense.
Whatever, he's already happy. He has the most beautiful family, and he has a ton of friends. He's not this loner guy. Whatever. Anyways, it's not about Batman. I'm not bitter still about this.
We could go on about it.
Okay. So, yeah, let's just kind of have like a mini Tom King discussion right now. Is that cool with everybody at home and you, Kristan?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm speaking for them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll start with Heroes in Crisis 2. So we're only 2 issues in out of 9, I think, in Heroes in Crisis. We learned that one more person died. I won't say who. We learn a little bit more about what's going on. What went on at Sanctuary, which is the anonymous kind of therapy place for superheroes and some supervillains. It was created by Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman for people to go and just kind of get help from people. And we learned that more people...
Oh, hey!
It's early.
I'm sorry. I am late/early compared to what I said it's gonna be.
No, that's perfect. We were actually whatever
you were talking about. I'm going to eat my dinner. You're gonna be getting.
That's fine.
You're gonna be getting a glimpse of my dysfunctional life, because I came from Richmond. I had to go to work. Then I ran from work, literally, took a shower, and now I'm going to have my dinner while you ladies tell me about all the books you read. So go for it.
All right, well, we already talked about our books. I'm going to talk about Heroes in Crisis and Tom King.
But he's going to vent.
Oh, yes.
So today's going to be a shorter episode.
I'm right in time.
Okay. So, anyways. So we now learn that almost all the superheroes have been at Sanctuary. So Wonder Woman's been there, Batman's been there, Superman's been there. So we see each of their like confession videos, which is basically one page with like 9 panels of just like the person talking, which is pretty cool. It's a really cool concept to see in there. But once again, I just felt like the characterization of everyone just felt off. And I'm not sure why that is. I see that with a lot of other people as well. It's not that I'm not interested in the overall story, because that seems pretty cool, even though now it's more of murder mystery than less talk about characters' mental health, which is what I want it to be. And we're talking about it, but it just, I don't know, it's not giving me what I wanted or thought I wanted. And everyone's character just seems off to me. The confession videos seem off. What I'm hoping secretly is that there's a reason it feels off. And that they're not genuine videos or whatever. But I think that's too much to hope for.
Do you feel like you're not taking the concept seriously? Because it's such a serious, real concept, and that was what made it like interesting, right?
Yeah, and so I'm it's hard to say. I don't know how much I can like review until it's done. So I'm not sure where he's taking it.
Sure.
And I wonder how much of that is him, or how much of that is DC. Because I feel like you have a really, really good opportunity to really go in and talk about some mental health issues in general. But also with our superheroes, like let's really discuss what they've got going on, because we don't see enough of that with a lot of them.
We don't, and you know they all have stuff going on.
Yeah, let this be a window, for comic book fans to consider and think about their own mental health too.
Yeah.
Responsibility. I'm a definite supporter of using art and media as a method to help people when you can, and because it's a very like maybe talking to somebody's not as good of a help for you, all the time, but sometimes it's one movie or one book or one video game that all of a sudden gives you that aha moment. And I think we shouldn't doubt the power of comics to do that. And that's when we talk about this show a lot, with a lot of issues. And DC really has an opportunity to do that here. I don't know that they're doing that yet. And I know it's early on, but we are 2 issues in, and I should be able to see more of what is happening. And I feel like we're not given a lot.
9, right? Like,
yeah,
you should feel a different way. I guess my question is, does it feel like it could very well just be a marketing ploy, and they're not taking it as seriously as they really should, because it's a serious thing, and people are reading it because they want something out of it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Omar made fun of me because Omar's been reading comics a long time, and so he's been through a lot of these big events with the media blowing it up, and then maybe nothing happens, they don't deliver. And so he laughed because as he witnessed me go through my first big one, which was the wedding. I was devastated. I talked to random people in comic book stores about it.
We all gone through that.
I just feel like some of the choices made prevent us from having some really good stories that maybe we would have had. The wedding especially. I think you just stunted a whole opportunity for a really, really good story and a good view on these characters, a different view. Now, my other Tom King related issue, and I didn't quite realize it until I watched Comic Drake's recent video, which is a YouTuber that I really like watching. We talked about basically how Tom King single-handedly killed the Titans in DC Rebirth. And basically that's what happened. Because we had this, Titans was a great group. I'll die for them. Not the TV show. Let me just preface that. I'm caught up. It's still a show. It exists.
But we don't talk about
Starfire's really great. Beast Boy's great. Doom Patrol, excuse my language, fucking killed it. They're great. Brendan Fraser being back in my life, wonderful. But for the comics, we had the Titans, and the Titans are the OG Teen Titans, but grown up. That's what that group is. They're very much friendship and family oriented. They're very tight knit, and it's what makes their story very interesting. And I've talked about this on the show before. Their relationship versus how Justice League's relationship is more businessy. But Titans are like best friends, and they've grown up together, and they all have their dumb romances and issues with one another, and it's pretty great. But now it's basically dead because of they broke up, and 2 of the characters died, and I think they had to break up because this was going to happen. Everybody knows now, right? Is that a spoiler?
Don't worry about it.
Quick Heroes in Crisis spoiler from issue 1. I won't spoil issue 2, just came out. Issue 1, Wally and Roy are dead. Everybody knows now, okay? We all know. My heart's broken in a million pieces. It's fine. And those are 2 big members of Titans. And so then the group changed. And so it was Donna, and then Dick Grayson, what's her name? Megan, the Martian Hunter. She has a regular title. It's not just Megan. Y'all know what I mean. Anyways, and then I think Raven and Beast Boy. But then, recently in the comics, Tom King's story, again, King, I see you. Dick Grayson gets shot in the head, loses his memory. Now he goes by the name Rick Grayson, and he doesn't do crime fighting anymore. So he's not part of the Titans either. Now it's just Donna, and she's basically an alcoholic now because she's real sad. And then Aqualad, aka Tempest, shows up every once in a while, but not really. So the whole group is gone, minus Donna, and the whole dynamic's off, and it's very sad.
That's sad.
Thanks for coming to my Tom King rant. It was usually I'd say a lot worse words.
Your Tom King talk.
Yeah. I'm sorry that this is happening to your favorite characters.
It's a sad day.
I'm telling you, nobody treats my boy right ever. Like, look at him. Everything is so sad for this boy. My poor boy Roy. They just can't. They're like, hey Roy, do you like your arm? It's gone. Hey Roy, do you like your daughter? She's dead. Hey Roy, are you sober now? We're gonna have your ex-girlfriend drug you.
Do you like
Congrats. Too bad.
Sad.
Come on, leave him alone. Can't even get his addiction right, Tom King. That's my other problem. That was my problem with the first issue.
That's like thing ever. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I was like, it's like I got on pills because like being a superhero is real hard, and I don't have any superpowers, so I'm taking pain medicine. Like I get it, you want to relate to the opioid crisis and everything else. I get it, like, but that's not his addiction. That's not why.
That was Roseanne's addiction. Okay.
Don't just like, okay, well we have this character with an addiction issue. We'll just change it whenever it suits whatever's going on. Stop it. There was a reason canonically that he went to this life, and that was him, feeling abandoned by the person who should have been his father figure, who didn't realize that because Oliver Queen messes up sometimes, a lot of times, and that's what drove him to this. Like, that's the reason, and now he's only ever sober if he has like a group, like a family, a reason to be, and people depending on him. And that's my word Harper rant. Okay, I'm done. I feel like I talked too much.
I just want to say it's so refreshing to see someone, not me, doing a rant on the show. It's very refreshing. I can't believe it took us how many 15 episodes to get us there. I'm so glad I'm not the only one always angry and ranting.
And that was just barely, because like you guys have heard my real rants, which is in our Facebook chat.
So if we get to like 2,500 subscriber, we'll play those.
Yeah, go ahead and find them. They're very explicit, you guys. It's just me at a gas station. I think this was on the way to or from a con, and I was like losing my damn mind.
Yes,
so
and
mad.
so that's what I'm saying. It's like a tier, the tier giveaway kind of thing. So yeah, if we can reach 2,500 subscriber, we'll play those.
You guys
All right, that sounds good.
For sure.
And it's gonna be entertaining.
It'll be good.
Man, and you know, I go to comic book stores a lot, and I had to see that stupid wedding album that they came out with.
It's everywhere.
Why would you sell this? It's garbage.
Yeah, I wanted to take every one of them and just throw at someone.
Also, who's buying it now? I don't understand that.
I don't know. Now it's like I would like to see their divorce proceeding. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, oh my god. Listen, little Damien was gonna have a mom, and he was real happy. This nice little thing going.
That's, to be honest, for my case, that's the only silver lining to this. That Selena don't have to deal with that little piece of shit.
Okay,
like,
she loved him because they're both like edgy anti-heroes.
Okay, so they get along.
Yeah, because she was like, "Listen, I know Batman's like a stickler for rules, but I'm really chill, so we can hang." And they had that in common. It's very cute.
All right, but I would not.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm looking at the chat. First thing, Leighton Watson asked what my experience with Titans is. I watched the Teen Titans show. You mentioned Young Justice. I watched Young Justice also. I got into Titans from the comic books, basically. So I just read a bunch of the Titans runs, like Winnick, and then like the Titans run. It's called The Titans. And some of those, and got really into the story and their convergent stories. But the second thing, which we all want to talk about, oh man, is it too much to talk about?
I think we should.
Which one is the too much?
Okay, how some people think that Sabrina, the new show, is SJW feminist bullshit.
I haven't seen it, but I don't give a. I don't like. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. But even then, who cares? Oh my god.
I tried to think about it because I was like, wait a second, what about it makes it SJW?
Like a strong.
You mean people just? You mean this? They made a girls' club, and that was SJW for you? They made a girls' club because the football player put his hands in this like trans person's shirt to check that they had breasts.
Yeah.
Okay.
That a thing that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First episode.
Man, and their character is such a good trans character in there. Like I don't know how they identify or anything, but
they're non-binary.
It was really cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. You should read interviews with them because they're wonderful. Lachlan something, I forget their name.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that makes me so happy.
Yeah, and apparently
because the character was great.
Oh my gosh, I love that character. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've only seen like the first 2 episodes, but I'm already in love, and I love that character. What, Susie, right?
Yeah,
Susie's awesome. And every character in that damn show is awesome.
It blew me away. I didn't know what to expect with that show, but the feel of it is great. The characterization of everyone is fantastic.
The visuals are amazing.
Amazing.
So I've been thinking about this a little bit on the way back because we kind of had saw this in the morning. I think it was the same person who had a problem with Ruby Rose being cast as Batwoman, and it was that. Oh, okay, you are now filling up the quota. So now hear me out. I'm a little loopy, so it may take a little bit while to get my point across. But there was all this discussion when Marvel was putting all these characters that, they're taking established, predominantly male white characters and turning them into not straight white male characters. And that's not okay. So if I agree to that argument, sure, let's now put up, new characters that can be considered to be strong, non-white, non-straight white male characters, introduce new characters so that they can stand side by side. This is something that a lot of the people often use as an argument. Sabrina, historically, has always been a strong female character. From what I remember from the old show. So why is now a problem of that show existing? What's the excuse? You don't want to have that show there. That's kind of like, so that means at that point, you kind of have to think, you just don't want us to be represented. Like that's your main argument at the end of the day. I mean, not you, like, if you know what I mean, that's at that point, I'm sorry, you are misogynist, you are like, racist, and you just don't want us to have a representation, don't want like, as if like we're in your space, we're not in the same mold as you want us to see, so you're having a problem. Yes, Robin, I'm with you.
I'm sorry, she's just like,
no, I'm with you. Yeah, like Robin is justifiably upset, so am I. Because at that point, why are you upset about this? Like, I get that. Because Sabrina has always been a female character. She's always, it's like, there is 10 million Netflix show. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't say that it's not for me. Don't watch it.
Well, I think the thing is figure out the best way to talk to people. Because I think there's something there that, like, immediately treating them like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Isn't always, like, the best way to have any discussion. Some people you're not going to get through to, but some people, they're reacting some way because of an insecurity or fear in them. And I feel like, but there's got to be a good way to talk to people that's just like, hey, can I ask you why? Or like, what is in this that's making you feel less? Why is it bringing this reaction out of you? Because some people you do get to just by being like, can we talk about why? It's like, and it's very rare, especially if there's like a post, because it can get out of hand very quickly. But sometimes, like a couple times I've gotten people just by being like, let's just like talk. Like, can you just tell me what's in this that's making you irate, or like why do you feel attacked by this thing? Let's have a discussion, and maybe you'll realize that actually, your place is still here. Like your place in comics or media has not been taken away from you. Exactly. All of your archetypes that show you're still there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that just because there's a new thing added doesn't mean that it's it won't detract from your experience. As someone who's like grown up having to find other media that don't exactly represent me, I learned to enjoy them just fine and get into them just the same way, and maybe it'll be an adjustment for you, but I would hope that people wouldn't turn themselves off to some very exciting story just because it doesn't show exactly you in them. And me too, because I hope that I continue to like be open to stories that don't reflect my experience, because those are the opportunities where I learn more about other people and myself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think, and we had this discussion. Yeah, like no, and we had the discussion as well, because I'm an angry individual. So, I mean, I was actually listening in the conversation as I was driving, and someone said that Jem and the Hologram had an angry character. Now I want to read this book, because initially I had the hesitance.
Oh man,
I had the hesitance of that.
I think you would like.
Yeah, because I had the hesitance of reading Jem and the Hologram because it's a little bit too pink for me. It is a little bit too cute for me. And now that I know there is an angry character, I'm going to go read it. But like the same way, like because of my life experience and because of the way I am trying my best to read other things that is going to help me open my eyes and also, be like, it's okay to be cute sometime. It's okay to be not angry sometime. And Kristan's been helping me a lot with some of the things that she's been trying to, but most, just keep pushing cute on me. I mean, you're there. But that's what I'm saying, that if I was just only reading books about angry ladies, I'll just stay the same all the time. I wouldn't, because, if you know what I mean, like people usually kind of pick friends who are like them. So, you know, so you just need to get out there to kind of either see other characters or other people and stuff, which given that I don't, you know, go out meet and greet much. So my way of knowing more people is through books and stuff like that. So if I didn't, then how would I know that? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not comfortable with media that doesn't show typically what you are expected, like, you know, what you are used to, you know, give it a chance. And if it's not for you, good for you. Good for, like, you know, sure, it's not for you. But don't go and say this is some feminist SGW crap. That's a weird...
Yeah, or recognize that just because they're talking about it maybe a topical issue of today's time, it doesn't make it SJW immediately feminist crap. It's feminist, sure, because feminist is the equal rights of men and women, but like, would you go back and read that X-Men story? I always forget what it's called. I'm reading it for Tuesday. It's something God kills or something.
Oh,
the
God
one that
it's man kills, God doesn't.
Man kills, God doesn't. X-Men. But that big story was a big metaphor, right? Comparing mutants' experience to racism and talking about that in a lot of varying degrees. Are these the same people that, like, if that came out today, is it immediately just like, oh, God loves man kills? Thanks, guys.
Hey, I said that earlier.
People kill, God doesn't. That's free fan fiction for X-Men. But anyway, so like those comics have constantly been like a window to discuss current issues. So like as comic book fans, I'm very appreciative that comics have done that because it's created very interesting stories, and I'm happy that I need to be a part of that main movement in life. You know, it can also help me to understand issues that maybe I don't always hear about, right? Like, if that came out today, are people still gonna be like, that's SJW feminist bullshit? Like, stop bringing politics into my comics.
No more X-Men. No more Omar.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, what would Omar do? That'd
be
Inhumans. Is he on the chat today? I don't know. Hi, Omar.
He was earlier. He's probably still listening.
Yeah, he would be reading Inhumans. Can you believe that?
Man, I can't imagine comics without X-Men either. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's scary.
Well, I feel like we've all mentioned like how much politics have been in comics since the beginning. We all talk about Captain America punching the Nazi. I mean, this is a thing that's been around. Like, did people freak out back then? I mean, maybe they did. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's becoming. I don't know. Honestly, I was actually disappointed. I was disappointed at that because then I just kept on thinking. I'm like, wow, what's your excuse this time? Because Sabrina was always Sabrina. She was never Sabrino, or I don't know.
Sabrina.
I mean, I don't know. Like, she was never a he. So it's not a character that it was historical. It was historically a man. Now we turned her into a woman and we revamped it. It's not. It never has been. She's always been living with her 2 aunts and a cat and, you know, doing magic stuff. I'm assuming that's the new show is the same thing. Plus,
yeah, I mean, it's creepier and they added in some extra stuff. Yeah. But if they didn't give her extra friends in this show, it would have been boring, like the comic was.
So then, that's what I'm saying. So then, what's the excuse this time? At that point, you kind of have to ask, you know, as you said, that, okay, what is it that's irating you this time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, shout out to Iron Cardinal for saying Sabrono.
Sabrono.
Good.
Good
one. Oh,
one.
man. I will say, though, that there are instances of where shows do it wrong. And I'm 3 episodes into the new Charmed. And they made one of the sisters, like, one of those walking awful stereotypes of, like, a feminist. Now those don't exist. But it's like she came straight. They were like, let's pick her out of Tumblr. Ooh, she's gay. Let's make her, like, the raving one, who's the the bad part of the spectrum, where she's like, I can't believe they hired you as a cis white male to do this. I'm like, oh, please don't listen. You're undermining our whole cause. Quit it.
That's interesting. Like the ratings for that are really good right now. So it's
a good show. It's just
regardless.
Rub me the wrong way.
I feel like Maddie, you should give Robin the microphone.
I did the interrupting thing.
I'm trying to rant.
And you know, just like
ranting about her tune.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to think Robin is just as angry as I am. I can tell. Like,
I don't know what she's so loud about. It's because she must see ghosts or something.
I don't know what she's so loud about.
Well, because cats just meow at the wall randomly for no reason.
For no reason, yeah.
So your cats do that too?
Oh yeah, mostly Buffy. She'll just start staring, and we're just like, "What? You're seeing demons, right? Are you flashing back to the war? What is happening?"
You must be right. It's so weird. She'll just stare at a wall for like 30 minutes and not move, and there's not a bug or anything.
It's a demon or a ghost.
Past life, you guys. She was a human past life. I strongly believe that.
Right?
I strongly believe.
Probably.
Yeah. So I didn't have chance to put makeup on, and seems like my camera knows that, and kind of made me small on the side for some reason. No matter how much I talk, my screen doesn't come on. Is that happening?
Oh well, no. That's how it normally is. If you're on the regular Hangout. I never realized that because I'm running the show now today.
Oh,
so normally, normally, like I never see myself talk, and so this is very weird for me to see my face so often. Although I gotta say, it's looking good today. I'm proud of you, face. But normally, I don't see my face that often on the show.
So did you guys make the big announcement already?
We did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay!
So for those who may be tuned in later, Mark Waid is talking to us.
Oh yeah,
Waid of Honor on Wednesday.
Waid of Honor. That was me.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were thinking
excited about that.
We'd make the episode shorter and end sooner. So instead of talking for 2 hours, we talk for about 1 with you guys. Because we have a lot of reading to do, and Fariha and Kristan are both overworked for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
yes,
true that.
Yeah. So let's do Fariha, since you're joining, will you do our ending plug for IST?
So, what are the things that people can go and buy? All the Mark Waid's book. Our guest of honor's book. Where can people go? I'm not even doing this right, but guys, work with me.
Insectrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected edition.
Yes, and right now, Absolute Kingdom Come is on sale. I think. Is it? Or maybe not. Oh, thank you, Robin.
She's so bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Right.
But you can find Absolute Kingdom Come, Irredeemable, Empire, Daredevil, both omnibuses, Volume 1 and 2, Captain America, all the Flash books by him, and all the other 100 other books that he have worked on that we have, we haven't gotten around to reading. And you can find them all for up to 42%. Even more. And the sale is still ongoing, correct? The clearance and the damage sale. I think November 6th is like when it goes to 85%.
Yeah, right now they're at 70%. So
70%.
Yeah.
Yes. But good, the only thing you have to kind of know whether there is something to buy because everyone cleared everything out.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of good books out there, so you guys can go and check that out. And next week also, Absolute Transmetropolitan is coming out. It is one of my favorite books.
Also, the new Giant Days hardcover is coming out.
Woo!
Yeah, finally.
Love you guys.
Yes. So go to instocktrades.com for all your collected editions needs. Do you guys have a pick of the week that we can sign out on?
Irredeemable.
On a sunbeam.
All right. On a Sunbeam, Irredeemable, and for me, it's Queen and Country by Greg Rucka. I don't have the book with me, but I've been reading it. It's like Lady James Bond, so it's really good. We can talk about it more at a different time. But anyway, so tune in Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
Yes, where we'll be talking about Mark Waid. Fingers crossed that.
This Mark Waid.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I wanted to drop this in before we got to that call on Wednesday, before we sign out. Just so everybody knows, we're not going to ask him about the lawsuit or anything. I just want everybody to know. So if you're coming in, if you want to come into the interview and you want to ask questions about those, we won't be addressing those at all, and we won't be answering those in the chat. We're just going to talk about his works and our usual questions that we ask. So in case you're hoping for some drama, we're not having it. We're not doing that. So
take your drama elsewhere. Not here. Elsewhere.
Not here. At least not Wednesday.
Yes.
Anyways,
not on Wednesday.
We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.